This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
This is your first look at sports. I'm Jonathan Benson. A good crowd flocked to Jaws Beach yesterday for Peter Nygaard's inaugural Best of the Best Independence Regatta. 12 C-Class sloops took to the waters for a 3-race series, but it was a special challenge race between King Eric Gibson and Peter Nygaard which stole the show. And when the final cannon had sounded, it was Nygaard coming through with the win.
I haven't been in sailboat for 30 years, but I heard the legend of King Eric, and I stayed up all night long thinking of excuses as to why I lost. So right now I'm speechless. I can't believe I beat him. I think what happened is we cleverly faked it out. We were pretending to come shore this way, to making sure that he was going to do that. We quickly tacked the other way, went out into where the real wind was, and we cleaned his clock to that first one. He was dead in the water over here. I think that's where he lost it. He came the wrong way, and it's because of the trickery of this crew. I had a tremendous crew here.
Now Nygaard was sailing aboard the ASU Draw WG Thunderbird, owned by the Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee, and Rev had a big smile on his face following the race.
I was just happy, elated that he won, because you know we had a little bet, like if he lost, don't come off the boat. I don't know how he's gonna get on Nygaard Key, but he sailed that boat magnificently. I was quite impressed to see how he maneuvered that boat. I want to say thank you so much, Mr. Nygaard, for opening up the doorway into the Bahamas at Jaws Beach. This is certainly a beautiful sight, and all the Bahamian people who have came, black, white, poor, rich. We thank the many millionaires who came out in their yachts or in their backyard watching, and indeed the poor who came from Baintown, Camp Road, Nassau Village, all over the place just to celebrate this independence celebration. We say thank you so much. God bless you, and we look forward to having many, many more great Independence Regatta right here at Jaws Beach.
Now King Eric was gracious in defeat, but he let his good friend Peter Nygaard know that they will see each other again on the waters.
I told him today that he opened a can of worms. And you know, I just couldn't beat the man. I just couldn't beat him after he'd done all this. I said, well, I let him win this one. But what I have done that he don't realize, I set him up. Because we're going to have this thing over in Athens Regatta. You have to come up Athens, and we got to have that all over again. And I guarantee you it wouldn't be so easy. You know, imagine the nerve this man have to challenge the king.
Well, after undergoing successful surgery, Truckers manager Perry Thompson hopes to be roaming the softball sidelines again very soon, but he says that decision is not completely up to him.
I need permission from with 3 people, 2 of the doctors and the wife. My last doctor's checkup will be on the 29th of August. He'll let me know whatever it's like that, because right now, until he tell me stay with the sun, I can't lift my thing high and whatever it is. I just exercise and everything real slow.
Of course, we want to apologize. That's Perry Seymour and not Perry Thompson. Day 2 of the IAAF World Youth Track and Field Championships over and done with in Ukraine. 5 Bahamians were in competition. Xavier Coakley saw a double duty. He was 5th in his 110 hurdle heat in 14.05 seconds, and that was good enough to move on to the semifinals tomorrow, where he will run out of Heat 3, Lane 2 at 10:59 a.m. local time here at home. Coakley will need a top 2 finish in his heat or have one of the next 2 fastest times to advance to the final, which runs tomorrow afternoon at 1:25. Now, Coakley also ran the 400-meter hurdle semifinals to date. He was 6th in his heat in 53.78 and did not advance to the final. Quarter miler Janico Cartwright, he ran a personal best of 47.23 for 3rd in his 400-meter semifinal heat, and he just missed out on the lane in the final. Janae Ambrose, she clocked 12.02 for 7th 100-meter semifinal and did not advance there. Now, the final athlete to compete for the Bahamas today was Laquan Nairn. He reached the qualifying height in the boys' high jump of 6'10 1/4. That gave him a place in the final on Saturday. Well, day 2 of swimming at the World University Games in Russia also in the books. The women's 100-meter freestyle prelims, that saw Ariel Weish finishing 4th in Heat 4 in 57.86. Bria DeVoe was in that same heat, finishing 7th in 58.96. Evante Gibson, meantime, was 6th in Heat 2 of the men's 200-meter individual medley. His time, 2:19.41. All 3 failed to advance to the semifinals of their respective events. Well, the Peter Nygaard Best of the Best Independence Regatta took place yesterday on waters off Jaws Beach. Whitty K out of Long Island got off to a fast start, winning the V. Alfred Gray Cup. Coming in second was Crazy Partner, followed by Lady Eunice in third. The next race was for the Prime Minister's Cup, and Crazy Partner came through for the win there. Lady Eunice was second, followed by Whitty K. The third and final race was for the Peter Nygaard Cup. Once again, it would be Crazy Partner coming through for the win. Whitty K finishing in second, followed by Sweet Island Gal. When all the tallying was done, it was Crazy Partner winning the overall title with 33 points.
This has been one of the best regattas I've ever sailing in Nassau. We sail out here on Jaws Beach and Nygaard Key. And I've never sailed nowhere like this other than a few of the family islands we've been to. When I say a few, one would be Long Island. All right. The other one would be Georgetown. There's no other regatta, but even in the conversation of this regatta, we had a regatta tonight where we had families out on Jaws Beach, and it would have looked like a homecoming or a family reunion.
Very good.
And that has been the first regatta that we've ever had like that.
Now, following a long day on the waters, skippers gathered at Nygaard Key last night when all the hardware would be handed out, and taking to the mic to say a few words was the minister responsible for regattas, the Honorable V. Alfred Gray.
I want to go on record as saying that regattas in the Bahamas have been expanded to include Jaws Beach. This is the first time in the history of our country that such an event has taken place there, and I see it shaping up to be an annual event. I support the efforts of those who led the charge, particularly the consultant to my ministry, the Reverend Dr. Philip McPhee. He tells me, and I'm closing, he tells me on Mondays through Fridays, he works for me. And every Sunday when I go by his church, he tells me I am working for him. And so we have reverse roles. But Dr. McPhee is certainly a good example of the kind of person we need to lead charges of this kind.
And that will do it for sports. But don't go anywhere. There's more to come after the break.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.